guys, it's Kayla from NKS Reptiles. Today we're going to show you how we keep our superworm colonies. Of course, there's 1,001 ways to do it, and this is just our way to do it. So we got a shipment of 500 superworms here. So we got them from the Sermon Farming Company. So we're going to go ahead and open that up and show you from the beginning how we keep our superworms. Oh, nice, they put them inside of a bag, inside of the box. Not all of them stayed in the bag. There we go. Don't doubt the ones who escaped in here. Stay in there. That's awesome. They put them in a bag in here. Some of them seem to get out of the bag. They manage and escape, but you know, they're superworms. Not too surprised. That's a nice little shipping method. Make sure nobody's up here before I cut this. Come out of the bag, please. Alright. So we're going to try and get all this paper out here. Alright, now that we got all of these guys cleaned out, well, mostly there's a couple shreds of paper in there. So I'm not going to count them. I'm going to trust that they gave me at least 500 superworms. None of them were dead, which is great. They usually give you a surplus of the number that you order because they expect some to come dead in the shipping. But none of these guys were dead. They all arrived alive and well, and they look great. So that's a plus. They're all doing fine and kicking. So the first thing we're going to do, I already do have a colony set up. My colony does not produce enough superworms to feed all of my reptiles, so I do have to occasionally order more. They just produce a little bit. Honestly, yeah, they just produce a little bit, so I don't have to order quite as often. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add these to my already existing superworm bin. But what this is it's just basically a bin full of oats. What you want to do, get your oats, bulk order them. I honestly bulk order them from Amazon. When you get them, don't just throw them in here. You want to microwave them first because little tiny parasites do reside in oats, believe it or not. Yeah, my camera woman's eyes just got real big. So they're not anything that's harmful to us or really harmful to your worms, but it's something that, you know, you don't want your reptiles to be eating those little tiny parasites. So it's real easy. You just kind of put them on a plate and put them in the microwave for about a minute, and then spread them around in here. And that's perfect bedding for your superworms. So I'm going to put these guys in here. We'll spread them around. They're going to spread around anyway. But there we go. They're going to dig into the oats. They're going to eat this bedding. This is going to be their primary food source, as well as their bedding and their hiding spaces. But this is not their only food source. We do also give them a wet food source. So about every other day I give them, you know, carrot pieces, lettuce pieces, to make sure they do have a wet food source as well, because they do need some kind of water source. The oats is not enough. If you look at that, it's kind of weird now. It just looks like the oats are moving. It's a little creepy. So we're gonna go to the next drawer here. The next drawer is our beetle drawer. Right now, I don't have very many beetles. There's 6, I believe. This little red beetle is our newest beetle. This just turned into a beetle from a pupa. So when they first turn, they're gonna have this nice pretty red color, and after they've been a beetle for a while, they're gonna be these black colored beetles. Beetles don't last forever. You will come into your drawer occasionally and find a deceased beetle. So some of your reptiles may eat the deceased beetle. I have a couple that absolutely love them, so I'll just toss them into those reptiles when they die. Or you can just, you know, throw them away. So what I'm gonna do right now, it's been a while. What I do to grow up my collection is I take out the beetles. Hey guys, hi, hi beetles. Boop, no, get off my hand please. Yeah, no, you gotta get off my hand. No, off my hand. They stick to your hands pretty well. There you go. Yep, come here. Thank you. Oh, you're on your back. Sorry. Here, take a friend. Flip over. So after they've been in there for a while, you can usually dig through. When you look hard enough, you'll find little teeny tiny superworm babies. If I don't want to dig through and I just think it's been long enough, or it's been a while since I've done it, I come through and I take their bedding and I just add it to my superworm bin. And whatever teeny tiny babies are crawling around in here are gonna grow up with my superworms. The superworms don't eat the smaller superworms, so they'll be fine. Your superworms will eat your beetles, so you do have to keep them separate. When you're running low on superworms, like I am, you dig through and you try and find a superworm that's kind of close to 2 inches. You find bigger superworms. That guy's not very big. You're decent enough. And you find one of these containers, so you keep them separated. And you put them in there. Oh, you're a decent size. Put you in here. You're okay. Put you in here. When you put them in here, you're going to put a little piece of food with them as well, which I would do in a little bit here. Like a little piece of carrot, little piece of lettuce. I don't see any that are very big, so I'm probably going to let some of these grow up more. And once they're alone for long enough, they will start to curve into a C shape. And then after they've been a C shape for a little while, they will turn into these lovely pupa. And then what you do with those lovely pupa is real simple. Don't let the worms escape. You just take those little alien dudes and you plop them right into your beetle drawer. Your beetles will not harm your pupa. So once they're in the pupa stage, they can live right there in your beetle drawer until they grow into beetles. There you go, beetles. Your beetles won't harm them. They'll crawl over them, they'll investigate them, and then they'll leave them alone. And the beetles, it's the same thing. They'll eat the oats, but you also need to give them some kind of wet food as well. So I'll give them carrots, lettuce, cucumbers, things like that as well. So they get their wet food too. And then the cycle just keeps turning. Once this once the oats get too full, I actually do go through and pick out all of the superworms and get their oat bedding back down to where it's not too high. And that's usually after I've done this bucket 3 or 4 times into this bucket. So that one's a little bit more of a pain when I go through it, especially going through and finding all the little tiny superworms. I usually do it right before I'm about to dump the superworm bin, or the beetle bin, back into the superworm bin. That way all the little tiny baby superworms have hopefully gotten a chance to grow up, so I'll actually be able to see them and not lose any baby superworms in the matter. So this is a really easy 2-bin setup for superworms. You can even make it a 3-bin setup where this is even going into a higher bin, so that way this isn't getting fuller and you're not worried about actually dumping this bin until, you know, these babies have been dumped into another bin, so you're not worried about dumping and potentially losing any baby superworms. So you could go to a more sophisticated setup if you're worrying about losing baby superworms and changing your oats too often. But that's up to you. This 2-bin setup works for me. It takes up not too much space. It's not too tall. It's made out of an older snake rack that we don't use anymore because we have much larger snake racks now. So this nice short 2-bin snake rack was perfect for a superworm bin. If you have any questions, let us know. If you have improvements, definitely let us know. We're always looking to improve our systems, but that's it for us. A nice, easy superworm setup. So, thanks for watching, and as always, like, subscribe, and keep learning. Thanks. Bye.